Summer 1945, a typical Monday morning in Hiroshima, Japan. The sky is clear. People are heading to work. Children are at school. Life moves with the rhythm of any other day. But at 8:15 a.m., a single American B-29 bomber appears in that blue sky. An object falls from its bay. For 43 seconds, it plummets toward the city. A light brighter than the sun engulfs everything. In an instant, the world changes forever. The temperature at the blast's core reaches for 0 degrees Celsius. An estimated 80,000 people are killed immediately. Hello and welcome to the Deep Dive. I'm Rana Asif. Today, we re-exploring one of the most pivotal and morally complex events in human history, the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. We lines go beyond the basic timeline to ask the difficult questions that still echo today. Why did this happen? Was it necessary? And what does it mean for us now? Our story truly begins with a top-secret race against time, the Manhattan Project. Initiated out of fear that Nazi Germany was developing an atomic weapon, this massive undertaking brought together brilliant minds like J. Robert Oppenheimer. In a remote New Mexico desert in July 1945, they tested the gadget. The successful Trinity test marked the dawn of the atomic age. By this time in the Pacific War, the situation was brutal. Following Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor, the fighting had been ferocious. The recent Battle of Okinawa shocked Allied planners, demonstrating the Japanese military's willingness to fight to the last man and the horrific cost of a potential invasion of the Japanese home islands. On August 6th, the B-29 bomber Enola Gay dropped Little Boy on Hiroshima. But the story doesn't end there. Among the survivors in Hiroshima was a man named Tsutomu Yamaguchi. Badly injured, he managed to return to his home city Nagasaki on August 9th. While Yamaguchi was describing the horror of Hiroshima to his superiors, another blinding flash filled the sky. That man had detonated over Nagasaki, killing approximately 70,000 people instantly. Against all odds, Yamaguchi survived again. He would become the only person officially recognized by Japan as a survivor of both atomic blasts. For decades, Yamaguchi was silent, but later in life he became a powerful messenger for peace, driven by a simple, haunting conviction: no one should ever experience what I experienced. On August 15, 1945, Emperor Hirohito announced Japan's surrender. Citing the new and most cruel bomb, World War II was over. But the debate over the bombings began immediately and has never stopped. Historians are generally split into two camps, the Traditionalists and the Revisionists. Let's break down their core arguments. The Traditionalist view holds that using the bomb was the least bad option. It forced a quick surrender, avoiding a bloody land invasion of Japan that could have cost hundreds of thousands of Allied lives and millions of Japanese lives. Historian Anthony Beaver notes that the Japanese military had mobilized civilians, prepared for a fight to the death, and was willing to accept catastrophic casualties. In this view, the bomb, while horrific, actually saved lives in the long run. The revisionist view, scholars like Richard Overy argue Japan was already militarily defeated and on the verge of surrender, especially after the Soviet Union declared war on August 8th. They suggest alternatives existed, modifying surrender terms to guarantee the emperor's safety, or waiting for a Soviet entry to pressure Japan. Some, like historian Tsuyoshi Hasegawa, argue the bomb was used partly to intimidate the Soviet Union in the early stages of the Cold War, calling it a grave war crime. They ask, was the second bomb on Nagasaki, just days later, necessary at all? Beyond the strategic debates lies the profound human cost. The bombs killed well over 200,000 people, most of them civilians. Thousands more suffered for years from radiation sickness, cancers, and social stigma. The survivors, known as hibakusha, carry both physical and psychological scars. Public opinion on the bombings remains deeply divided, often along national and generational lines. A 2015 Pew Research survey found 56% of Americans believed the bombings were justified, compared to only 14% of Japanese. Younger generations in the US are also less supportive than their elders. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki thrust humanity into a new era where we hold the power for our own extinction. It's a legacy of unimaginable destruction, but also, as survivors like Yamaguchi showed, a relentless plea for peace. There is no easy answer. History rarely offers them. But understanding this event in all its technological, military, political, and moral complexity is crucial. It forces us to grapple with the darkest capabilities of human ingenuity and the enduring hope for a future where such weapons are never used again. What do you think? Was the use of the atomic bomb a tragic necessity or an avoidable catastrophe? Let's have a respectful and thoughtful discussion in the comments below. If you want to dive deeper into the making of the bomb, check out our video on the Manhattan Project and J. Robert Oppenheimer. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into history. Thanks for watching.